Strategy Battle Gamers, this is a special little video which is relevant to the upcoming ReDesolation of Stockport 2015, which if you are on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook group or indeed on the GBHL Facebook group, then you'll know that I'm very excited about at the moment. Now I think a big part of this is, of course, I've just got back from doing the fabulous Longbottom Carnival down at Titans, and of course the Nova Open as well. And the next big hobby thing for me, not including the Guild Ball Informer event, which is coming up very soon for Guild Ball, is of course my very own ReDesolation of Stockport 2015. And I've felt very inspired by all of the things that I experienced at the Nova Open convention, which of course is a huge wargaming convention of which Lord of the Rings was a tiny little part. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to recreate a little bit of that feeling and magic for the guys who are coming to this event in Stockport just in less than a couple of weeks now. So of course we've been very lucky with the channel as a platform that the tournaments in Stockport have been the largest independent events that we know of in the world. I believe that Jamie and I got 64 at the last one, which was great. Now it didn't look like we were going to get up towards that towards the end of this year for this next one. But it shows what a difference can be made when you offer a swag bag. So that's right. So if you're not on Facebook, then you won't necessarily have seen this. But I have offered swag bags, or I did offer swag bags for the first 48 people that signed up to the ReDesolation Stockport 2015, which for those of you that aren't aware is on the 3rd and 4th of October. This one coming up. So at the Nova convention, we did receive a swag bag as part of the convention, and it had all kinds of goodies in it. And I'm hoping to try and, well, I say I'm hoping, I paid for everything. So I have put together a swag bag of which various bits and pieces which will go towards that swag bag will be coming in. We got to that 48 very quickly once I made that announcement, which I was very chuffed about because it meant that we weren't too far away from getting up towards our total. But I did promise then that if we did manage to get to 72, which would be a record breaker by a reasonable amount as well, that I would get swag bags for that number. Okay, and it's looking, I know that this is unbelievable news, but it's looking like we might actually do that. So as it stands, we have sold 60 tickets. This is paid for tickets. So 60 tickets have been sold to the ReDesolation Stockport 2015, which is great. That means that we're only a handful away from getting past the record, which is brilliant. But I have a list of notables which are people that say that they're going to pay in the next week or so, that have said they're definitely coming, they're just not paid yet. And that takes us up to 74. Now that would be absolutely incredible. So for anybody who is relatively new to the scene, who can't get the scale in mind for that, bear in mind that the official, or the last official Hobbit SBG tournament run by GW, which was the Throne of Skulls, that had 90 participants. And we're not a million miles away from exceeding that. And now for an independent tournament to exceed that number would be absolutely outstanding, and it would be a huge testament to how far we as a community as a whole, so we're not just talking about the channel here or our tournaments, because this is a trend that we're seeing not just in Stockport but across the country in the Great British Hobbit League. I mean, look at Titans, they sold out, they got to 50. Mid Sussex Wargamers continue to sell out like so. There are tournaments every month which can regularly get between 20 and 30, which is a real testament to the scene, which is really good. Trying to put my arm down, I overestimated my DOMs there on my shoulder. So yeah, so it's a real testament to the scene of how the momentum of the community is really growing, and the player power, as it were, that it's possible that we could even get up towards 80, which would be really impressive. Now what's impressed me most about this list of names that I have here, of people that are paid and people that have said that they're paying in the next week or so, what has impressed me most is that there are lots and lots of new people. Now, any game can only survive if new people are getting involved in it. And it's happening. It's happening with Lord of the Rings Strategy Battle Game. We might lose the support of Games Workshop within this next couple of years. Who knows? No one can say. We can all speculate. No one really knows. It looks like it's going that way. But a great testament to the power of all the TOs that have been running the tournaments, to the energy that's gone behind the GBHL podcast channel, to SBG magazine, to all of the TOs across the world that are starting things in Germany, Holland, America. Look at the guys with the DCHL over there. Look at the guys in Canada, you know, with Blackfire Productions, and you know, look at the Ontario Strategy Battle Gaming League and everything that's going on in Australia, it just shows that as a community, momentum is building, because there are so many new names on here. In fact, I'm surprised how many people aren't coming to this tournament who I've contacted that would normally come to a tournament. So for us to get to this, to potentially over 74, would be absolutely incredible. Now, the purpose of this video isn't just to gloat about the fact that this is going to be huge. It's going to be a huge event, and that, of course, swag bags are going to be there. There will be other things which will be available over the weekend, but it's also just to iron out a few things as well. So, of course, all of the odd people, there are 60 odd people that are paid. On the Saturday evening, we are booked to go to Amici's for party night. Party night is a really good, you know, think food and disco and singing, and you know, it's just really good fun. It's become a little bit of a thing when the Stockport events are on, if we can get to Amici's. So we go there for food. It's 3-course meal. It's £22.50, and normally I would secure that on my credit card just to make sure that everybody turns up. They won't let me do that this year, so I do need £5 deposits, and that needs to be done by Monday, which is why this video needs to go up now. So if you are watching this video and you are booked in, or you think that you are going to come to the ReDesolation of Stockport and you want to get the most from this event, so it might be your first time at a Great British Hobbit League event. You think, oh, I'm just going to go for the tournament side of it. Stop right there, thank you very much. The best thing about tournaments is the social side of it and the people that you meet. It's not just about getting to play with toy soldiers, it's the fact that you meet this eclectic group of people that you might not normally have had the chance to meet, and you all have something in common, you know, which is these small little 28mm plastic men. You've all got that in common, but you are brought together and you make great friends through doing it. So if you want to get the most from the ReDesolation Stockport 2015, make sure that you get yourself booked in for Amici's. So I do need your meal choices, your 3 meal choices, and a £5 deposit. All of the details are on the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, then email ilovewargaming@gmail.com, and I will give you the information via email of what you need to do to make sure that you get on that. It's also important that you pay deposits for notable others that might be there. So if you are bringing a partner along, if you are younger and you've got your parents with you, and they're going to be there for the meals, then it's very important that you pay for them as well, and they don't just turn up and try and wing it, because there is of course going to be a lot of us there, and there will be a lot of other people there. It's quite a popular little place, just over the road from the Northwest Gaming Centre. After that, after we've had a few drinks there, it is highly likely that we'll go back to the Northwest Gaming Centre, have some drinks, play some board games, carry on playing a bit of SPG, who knows, but it's usually a really good, cool little evening. So that's that side of it. So swag bags are probably going to go out to the first 72 who paid, which is very important. So the first 72 who have paid, so there are currently 74 on the list, 60 who have paid, so really it's the next 12 who pay are pretty much guaranteed to get a swag bag. I'll still have bags and I'll still be able to give out some swag, but you just won't get as swaggery bag as the first 72 people to pay, so bear that in mind. There are going to be tons and tons going on at this event. I am incredibly excited about the prospect, of course, that I mean, can you imagine if we got close to 90? It tells me that, especially when I see this list of people that aren't coming, it tells me that very soon we are going to have an independent event which is going to be bigger than the events that Games Workshop have run for the system, which is absolutely tremendously huge. So I want to take a moment to say thank you massively for all of you guys who have supported. If you have not yet bought a ticket, you can still buy a ticket. There is still plenty of time. You can even pay on the day, although that's not advisable. You will have to pay an extra £10 on top of everything else, and also it makes it much harder for me to admin. So if you don't want to make my life a misery, then I do suggest that you buy in advance. Other really good news, apart from the swag which is incoming, is that I have paid for, and the actual trophies for various categories are on the way. Now, there are 4 main trophies for this event. There are other prizes, of course, but the 4 main trophies are for the winner of day 1. So that's the person who has got the most points in day 1, the most tournament points, the most victory points. They will win a trophy, and then of course that divides everybody into groups for the next day, and there is of course a trophy for the overall tournament winner who wins the top group on day 2, for the person who wins the middle group on day 2, and the person who wins the bottom 8 group on day 2. So even if you come in the bottom 8 on day 1, you can win a great prize, as good a prize on day 2 as anything else. That's Jane ringing me because she's just finished work. which means I need to get some tea on, so I can't talk for much longer. But those are official Weta ring wraiths. So if you've not seen these, get yourself on Google, have a little look. They are great prizes, and again, you know, I have to admit, there will be no profit at all that can be made from the ReDesolation of Stockport, because far too much has been spent on things like swag bags and merchandise and things along those lines. I would have to sell all the merchandise to even for it to become cost neutral. But what we're trying to achieve here is to have a real spectacular coming together where we can really sort of celebrate, which we do at all the other tournaments as well, so that's not quite, but we can really celebrate just how far this community has come, and really set up nicely for the final events of the year, which of course East Grinstead, Stirling, and also the league final in Mansfield, which everybody should definitely get themselves to. So those guys who have already booked, you've got swag bags for when you come and register, so that's outstanding news. Make sure that you let me know whether and you pay me a deposit. It's a £5 deposit for your 3-course meal at Amici's. You must let me know that you come in. You must pay that £5, and you must give me your meal choices by this coming Monday. You must do that for me, guys, so that I can book it and so that we can guarantee that amount of space. Really, don't just try and wing it, because you probably won't be able to do it. So make sure you do that. Trophies are on the way, guys. If you are still wanting to pay for this event, remember you can do this by paying £30 via PayPal to ilovewargaming@gmail.com. If that doesn't work for you, then do it to fitness@bioticfit.com. It's like a 50-50 success rate on ilovewargaming.com, and I have no idea why. So guys, if you can make sure you do that for me, that'd be brilliant. So yeah, this is me obviously showing not just on text how excited I am for this coming event. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. I'm really excited to see what happens, and to host all of you guys, and hopefully it's going to be an absolutely tremendous time. So if you were wavering and you weren't sure about coming, do it, because you're going to be part of a record breaker, which means I'm pretty sure that our events next year will definitely get up towards 100. Absolutely no problem at all, if we unite as a community and make sure that we make that happen. So guys, thank you very much. This has been a ReDesolation of Stockport 2015 update. What I would like to see in the comments below is, what do you think will be in your swag bags? What do you think will be in there? And if you're excited about the idea of a swag bag, but you don't think that you can come to the event, you know, well, feel free to, as long as you're in the next 12 to do it, you can do what Andreas the Norwegian Viking has done and pay for a swag bag, but you just have to buy a ticket to the event and know that you're not able to come. Is that stuff worth £30? That stuff is priceless. So guys, I look forward to seeing everybody who has bought a ticket on the 3rd and 4th of October, and make sure you do all those things for me, and comment, like, share and subscribe. Support your hobby. Pledge to Jamie on Patreon, and happy strategy battle gaming.